Hey guys, if you look on the bench beside me, you're gonna see the Sen Racing Reaper, and we really like this truck here. It's not perfect, but it's built way different than most of the other RCs out there with the vertical plate chassis and all that stuff. It has its issues, and we've done some modifications to it over the time that we've had it and solved a lot of them. But one of the issues that really drives us crazy are the shocks. Now, the size and build of the shocks is good, but in the center here, if you can get a look at that, you'll see that this piece is plastic and it fails all the time. You don't have to get it very far up in the air, and this will fail on you and you'll blow all the fluid out, and then basically you just have springs, and it happens just about every time we take it out. We've tried trying other shocks, and you know, there's a certain amount of suspension travel you're allowed to have, and we've discovered these ones actually work best for the design of the truck. Now, the thing about that is, with that frail point right in the middle, these are garbage when it comes to that. In this video, we have a solve, and we're gonna show you how to install it and fix this pet peeve so this can actually be the truck it's supposed to be. This should be a lot of fun, guys. Check this out. So I told you we had a fix, and we do. Here it is. We'll get right to it here. This is a part built by Sen Racing, and here's the part number, guys. There it is. See if we can get that so you can see it good. So that's the part number for it, and these are aluminum caps for the shock absorbers. Why didn't they put these on to start with? Everything else on the shocks is killer, but that plastic thing, they know it's a problem. That's why they have these, and if you look again, these are right about $15 a pair, which means to fix the shocks on that, you'll need 2 of these, which brings you right around $30, give or take some tax. Now, that's not a deal breaker as far as that goes. That's not a lot, but at the same time, that's a small thing, and to put the plastic ones on when you know they're going to fail. In other words, when the suspension collapses on this, the chassis never hits the ground. It puts all the load on the shocks, which means when the shock collapses all the way, here we go. Let's do it this way. I'll give you a little look at this real quick before we get into the repair. So disassemble, take the spring off, and this is the destroyed portion here. Okay, so when the shock collapses all the way, like this piece puts 100% power against that piece, the whole weight of the car plus the inertia, bang. And that plastic piece just cannot hold up. Now, some of the shocks had a rubber unit right here, but it was a fairly stiff rubber, and good impact would split that. So it would defeat the rubber piece and then destroy this. And it's not like, you've never seen us really launch this thing off a ramp, because it's not a ramp truck, guys. This one's just for bashing around and having a good time with, and if you use it that way, it should hold up, and it does pretty well overall. This has always been a problem. So let's show you how this comes apart. We'll go ahead and put the new piece in there. We'll make sure everything's where it belongs, and then we'll oil them up and get them back on the truck, and it'll be good to go. This should help you solve this problem. Let's do this. One more thing, there are 2 ways we can do this. One is to just change the necessary part. This is the fast and down and dirty way to do it, so we can get this done without doing any maintenance to the vehicle. The second way is a full service, oil change and everything. So we're going to show you both ways. We'll do the short version first, then we'll get into the more involved one so you can see both ways to do it. All right, so first off, let's get this tire out of the way. And this, of course, is the quick way, so we're just going to detach the bottom here. The 1 screw is all that's necessary, and you can stand the shock straight up. Remove the spring by removing the retainer, and pull the rubber piece down, and you want to get something to pad the pliers and then hold it so you can spin that off. That all out of the way, this is the piece we're looking for. So we'll thread that out, take it off. There's the new one on the left, the old one on the right. The aluminum one looks way more substantial. Now, don't forget to keep this piece in place. And slip your new piece down over that, and it should retain that right in the right spot. Here we go. And then snug it down real good. Put the rubber piece back on and then reinstall the end cap. Check for flow. Return the spring, pull it down, put the retainer on, and then seat the spring. Check it. Nice. And then just reattach to the arm. Make sure you reattach it in the same location that it came from. Reinstall the tire and you're good to go for that corner of the truck. Check the torque. Good. Okay, so that was the down and dirty way to do it. It's short, it's quick. You can do it with each one. Pull a tire, stand the shock up, swap the part. Easy peasy. Now let's do the full service and show you how that works. On this one, this is the longer way, so we want to get all the tires out of the way first and get the body off. And then we're going to remove all 4 shock absorbers. So we want to go ahead and just quickly take them all off and just line them up on the counter. We're going to do this portion as a group, so we're going to do all 4. There we go. Now, we want to just quickly check to make sure everything's functioning right, no bent shafts or any leaks or anything like that. Now go ahead and take these all apart and just drain the oil out of them. Notice how clear the oil is in the first one. There we go. Now there's one of the old ones. Look how dirty that oil is. These ones haven't had maintenance in a while. The clear one we just serviced not too long ago. These ones here, it's been a while. So service is key, guys. Okay, now that we've got all of the shocks drained out, we can start building in earnest. I just like to get, if I know I'm going to do them all, I just like to get the oils out of the way to start with so you don't have to wait for each one as you do it. That's just our way of doing things, and it does work pretty good overall. We do have all 4 of these to build, but we are going to build one for you to see how it's done. Then we'll rapid through the rest of them, and we'll get back to the installation, back to the vehicle. Here we go. First, we need this piece to pad this shaft, and we've already used one like it before, but we're going to show you a new one here, and that's how you get it. Requires a pretty good amount of grip to hold that so the shaft doesn't turn, but it prevents you from damaging the shaft. Here's the rubber piece, and notice how it's misshapen. That's because it was full of dirt. Clean everything up. And we'll go ahead and take the plunger out with the piston and we'll remove the piece. Have a look at the O-rings and make sure everything's good, and keep this part, that's important. That's the part we're going to replace. So here are the new pieces, and we'll go ahead and put one of these on. You'll notice they're the same piece. One's aluminum, one's plastic. So we want to fit that small piece inside there, and that's the one that holds the O-rings in place. And so that stays in place. We'll tip it up this way so that everything is lined up good. Leave this kind of loose for now. We don't want to tighten it up before we get the shaft in place. So push the shaft through, make sure it glides nicely, then tighten this up. There you go. Now it should feel nice and snug, but no real resistance at this point. So let's put that rubber piece back on, reinstall the end piece, and we want to go ahead and get a good grip on it. Nice smooth action. Now look at this right here. This rubber piece is about to go bad. It'll work for now, but it just doesn't hold up. Let's reinstall the spring and the retainer. Check the flow. Nice. So after cleaning up the cap, we'll go ahead and fill it. The thickness of the oil that we're using is irrelevant to this. What you choose for oils is fine for you. These are the oils that we use, and we use relatively stock weight oils anyway, so if you read in the manual, it'll show you what basically we're using. But for each setup, for each environment, they're all different, so you have to choose what works for you. There we go. So let's just do all 4. Now for reassembly. So we'll put the shocks back in place, one at a time. And keep in mind, guys, we're not using an impact here. This is a screwdriver and it goes real slow. The footage has been sped up so this doesn't take all day, but it's just a screwdriver. So just be careful when you do this that you don't go fast enough to burn into the plastic. You want to make sure and maintain that thread integrity. So nice and slow while you're screwing these into the plastic. Check all 4 corners, make sure everything is smooth, and then we'll get the tires back on. There we go. And always torque by hand, guys. Nice. Just like that. So there you go. We got rid of one of the pet peeves that drove us the craziest with this car, because when you shatter a shock, it's one of the worst things because it sprays oil everywhere and the car doesn't handle anymore and you're pretty much done for the day if you want any kind of control. These parts here, they are going to work out good, I can tell, because aluminum is always going to be better than plastic, especially on a high impact zone like that. So I'm really feeling good about that. Guys, we've done a couple of other builds on this that are pretty cool by altering where the batteries sit to changing to 24mm hub adapters, putting the Creighton 8S wheels on it. We've had the X-Max wheels on it. This is a really versatile car if you just take the time to look into how to do things and, you know, be creative. There's no set rules as to how you have to do this. If you can do what you want to with it and it works for you, it works, and that's all that matters. Hey guys, if you wouldn't mind, don't forget to bash that like button and help our channel spread to others so we can help them too. So hey guys, for AJ Jam Studios, I'm AJ saying, keep wrenching, guys.